therapy technology?
Yeah, so actually it's really pushing closer to 20 years. You think about it, was several years to develop the technology, then it was another 2 years to try to figure out how to manufacture it and to put together clinical studies to support what it was that it was doing. And then we launched the network in 2004. And so then, of course, we celebrated our 15-year anniversary at market with this last year. But this is, Peter, this has been an amazing journey, because when we started, it was just simply about, let's give people a way to improve their energy without having to use drugs. Then as the products developed, it was, let's give people some anti-aging products, things that are going to reduce stress, detoxify the body, and protect the body so we can have a healthier future. But over the past 10, 12 years, my focus has really been more on regeneration, longevity, and age reversal, because the biological mechanisms now for doing all of this is being accepted and well understood. So what this means is that X39, we can talk about this a little bit later, but X39 is the beginning of our entry into stem cells and regeneration, and it's not the end. It's the very beginning of the story, and the future and the path that's taken us here is leading us to a place where lifespan is going to reach levels that, you know, used to be considered science fiction. But it's becoming real in the laboratory today.
Actually, that will actually lead us to our next question is, how did you come up with this X39 stem cell activation technology, and how long did it take for you to perfect it?
Yeah, it certainly didn't happen overnight. It was about a 10-year journey. And actually, when I started, I was trying to find a way to activate stem cells with electromagnetism. And I hold about 70 patents in this area today. And so there was quite a bit of technology that came out of this research. We spent just over $4 million over that period of time developing this. But essentially what we learned how to do was create these devices that, with a combination of what's called an electromagnetic field and a longitudinal field, influence the activity of the stem cells in the body and get the stem cells to function as if an injection of stem cells had been given. So we had worked with the National University of Ireland on this, and their research center on the west coast of Ireland is in the top 2% of research centers globally when it comes to stem cells. So we got this research collaboration with NUIG. We got a research grant from the government of Ireland called Scientific Foundation Ireland, and we began doing this research. And we did our basic cell culture studies, we did animal studies, and then human studies. But we found with this technique, I'll give you one example. We took 30 people, and each one of these people, they had diabetic or idiopathic neuropathy, meaning that the nerves in their feet were destroyed and they were developing neuropathic symptoms, they were in pain, and they were at risk for amputation. And we were able to, in a 8-week period of time, regenerate the nerves in their feet and reverse their diabetic neuropathy. And there's no drug or therapy in the world today that will do that, but we figured out how to do it. And that really led to the development of this understanding that we can use energy, and bear in mind, light is high frequency electromagnetic energy. We can use electromagnetic energy to influence the stem cells without having to give a stem cell injection.
I mean, this technology, David, I mean, for all of us, it just seems like so far out, but we cannot believe today, I mean, the science is here. Can you tell us a little bit more? What is behind the science of the X39?
Yeah, that in of itself is so interesting, because our bodies are actually designed to be powered by light. Now, we often think of sunlight as causing our bodies to make vitamin D, and that's absolutely true. But it's only a very, very small part of the picture. About 10 or 15 years ago, it was discovered that when you put specific types of light on the skin, and it could be infrared light, which we can't see, or visible light, that it will cause real chemical changes in the cells. And for those doctors that are out there, or those people that are curious, it causes an increase. Light will cause an increase in an enzyme called cytochrome C oxidase. And what's important about this, and what's so telling that we're beings of light, is that this is a component of what's called the electron transport chain in the cell. And this is how our bodies convert food to energy. So what this literally means is that our bodies can absorb light and respond in such a way to turn that light into additional energy. So with LifeWave technology, what I found that we could do is take a combination of different types of organic materials, process them to form crystals, and have these crystals engineered so they will reflect different wavelengths of light. When you put the patch on, these wavelengths of light stimulate the skin. They'll upregulate the mitochondrial energy production, and they'll also, I'm trying not to get overly complicated with this, basically the patches will stimulate the skin with light and change the metabolism in such a way so that we can cause the synthesis of specific signaling molecules, peptides, that will cause a desired reaction. So in the case of X39, we use the patch to stimulate the skin with light. This causes an increase in the peptide GHK, and then this regulates stem cell activity in the body. That's the light version of it, so to speak. It's way more detailed than that. So.
Well, David, I mean, we've been building our business here because we've been keeping it so
it's exciting. We had a leadership call today where myself and Jim Caldwell, we were speaking with the leaders and giving them a little bit of a glimpse into what's coming into the future. And, you know, the most about what I could say, again, is that X39 is the beginning of the story, not the end. There are more products in our future that will lead to better ways to heal and regenerate. And again, you know, my ultimate goal is I personally don't want to age, and I would like to be younger, and I would like to be able to, you know, share those gifts with our members. And all the research that we're doing is indicating not only is this possible, but it's totally achievable, and we see these effects in human beings. Out of this pandemic is I've been locked in a house where I built a gym, and I've got a lot of protein, and you know, so I would say that based on the numbers, I'm in better physical shape today than I was in my 20s, speaking athletically, and I know that the patches have played a huge role in that. Wow. So that's a little bit of a tricky question to answer because, you know, we can't make any medical claims. Yes. And we're a general wellness product in terms of the FDA. So if we look at what do we claim the X39 patch does, it's going to activate stem cells. That's kind of like the core of what it does. If we dig a little bit deeper with that, X39 is designed to elevate copper peptide, and it does this through increasing the way the mitochondria produces energy. So that then would lead you to say, first thing is a big problem that people have as they age is mitochondrial dysfunction. And that means, so people are slowing down, they feel tired, more fatigued, and that's going to be a big problem that X39 is going to help to alleviate. Now, interestingly, the process of healing is intimately connected with the quality of sleep. And we had a clinical study that was done by Dr. Melinda Connor, and we've done blood studies and also urine studies. And one of the interesting things that comes up is that X39 also improves the quality of sleep. So people that are having a problem sleeping will benefit. And this is because X39 will elevate production of something in the brain called GABA.
That's what I put the play because I was put it up.
Another thing that happens is copper peptide, when it's elevated with X39, copper peptide, its most powerful attribute is that it's able to modulate gene expression and reset about a third of the genome back to a younger state. And one of the things that occurs is that this helps to manage inflammation. And if we look at, we could do an entire webinar on just why is it that people age, and so how can we reverse aging or prevent it. But inflammation has a lot to do with this problem. As people age, their ability to manage inflammation declines. And so X39 will help that. So obviously, people that are suffering with some type of chronic pain can benefit from X39. Another thing that happens is X39 will increase production of the intracellular antioxidant glutathione, which is the body's master antioxidant. And it increases it by levels of between about 30 and 40%. Again, we've seen this in our urine testing. Advantage to this is that the age of the cell is intimately linked to the body's levels of glutathione. And glutathione normally declines with age. Glutathione is also neuroprotective, meaning when people develop Parkinson's disease, it's actually from a deficiency of glutathione. So one thing that we want to be concerned about is we want to keep our glutathione levels elevated because this will protect the liver, it protects the nerves, and it protects just about every cell in the body. And then the really big one, of course, is that when we activate the body's stem cells, it's good for just about everything, without getting into some disease claims and others. So, X39 by far is our most powerful product, and it's really good for the health of the entire